All right, so let's talk about your officiant really quickly. If I'm not able to check in with the officiant during rehearsal dinner, I always talk to them at least briefly right before the ceremony. There's some information that I need from them and that they need from me, and we just have to have that open line of communication before everything starts happening. As far as what I actually check in with the officiant on, it's a couple different things. First and foremost, if it's a friend officiating, or even if it's not, maybe it's somebody who's done a couple hundred ceremonies, I just always ask that, hey, what happens directly before the kiss? Okay, right before the kiss, okay, it's gonna be this song, and then you're going to announce them? Okay, perfect. So, right before you announce them, if you wouldn't mind getting up there and being like, all right, I now pronounce to you man and wife, but before you do that, just take a big step off to the side so that we have them here and there's nobody like creeping over around them, looking on them as they kiss. I want to get just the couple during that moment. In addition to moving aside for the kiss, I want to know about how long they expect the ceremony to take. That way I know if I've got 5 minutes to work, I need to hustle and hit it hard. Or if they're like, no, it's going to be, closer to 40 minutes. I've got all the time in the world, no stress at all. I also want to know who gets the ring first. Trying to get that live in ceremony is so much fun. I love getting that shot of the ring coming in and dropping on a finger, that sort of thing. So just kind of knowing what leads up to that helps me get into position where I need to be to get that shot. And then I'm also looking for any other special events that might be happening during the ceremony. Whether it's a unity candle, foot washing, special gifts, sand ceremony, a cord of three strands. You could plant a tree, it might be special music, it might be biblical readings or poetry readings. But it's those other little kind of things that put your own personal twist on the ceremony and make it a little bit more about the two of you and who you are as a couple and coming together as one. There is a huge difference of the role of the officiant between a Catholic mass and say like a backyard friend who's officiating you. I can tell you that the Catholic Mass is probably going to have many more restrictions as to where I can even physically be than your backyard ceremony would have. For example, in the Cathedral of St. Mary's in Helena, they left all of the back doors open for me so I could stay back there and photograph in, and then there was also some side doors that I could photograph from. But I was not allowed in the sanctuary, period. So I just put on as long of a lens as I could, and I stood back here, shot down the aisle as best I could, came over here, got some angles from there, and then I had to go outside on both sides of the church to circle around to get shots of the bride, to get shots of the groom. But those are just some of the stipulations that you could potentially end up having to work around depending on where your wedding happens. In a backyard ceremony, it's not uncommon for me to sneak kind of just over behind the officiant momentarily to get some really close-up shots of the two of you, like exchanging rings or exchanging vows, that sort of thing. I don't think that I have ever had a friend who is officiating the ceremony have any kind of special requests or instructions from me. Another thing to talk about with your officiant is whether or not to include the actual signing of the marriage license into the ceremony. During the ceremony, it's a great time to do it. You've got your, maid of honor, best man are there, or parents, or whoever's gonna be your witness. To just step up, sign that ceremony really quick. I'll probably step in pretty close for those two. It's just a nice way to actually be officially married at the end of the ceremony, have all of that stuff done. So you just got to get back to the party when it's all said and done.